Well, Pro Tools has changed the way I look at editing, and like you were asking about changing the groove and stuff, things that you're allowed to do, or able to do in Pro Tools rather. I go both ways on this because I think because you can, doesn't mean that you should necessarily. That'd be my first rule of thumb. But in the same light, I bet you there's a lot of great takes through the history of rock and roll that have been scrapped because there was a major flub or one or two major mistakes, whether it was the drums or the bass player or somebody in the band goes, well, I completely blew it, let's do it again. Whereas now it's so easy just to chop one from another section of the song. We could always do that with tape, and I was trained that way. My first experience cutting tape was kind of funny. I was working with John Hampton, who was kind of my mentor at Ardent, and it was on a record by Eric Gales. And it came to a point where there were two different takes. They wanted the first part of this one and the last part of this one where he had played some amazing solos. So we were going to do a tape splice. So Hampton told me, he goes, you're going to cut the tape. I was the second engineer. I was going, no, me? What if I goof it up? He goes, well, then you've ruined not one, but two takes you've ruined. So you're going to do it right. So he stood with me, showed me the ropes, did it. And after the first time you do that and you play it back and it plays back correctly, you're king of the world. You're like, let me cut some other stuff up. It was really an exciting thing when you learn how to do it and do it right, because it works and it's fantastic. But again, Pro Tools is so easy and quick that I think a lot of producers look at that, knowing they have that in their back pocket, they're not as intensely focused on something that may make that take the best thing that it was, and it might be a little flub. In the back of some producers' minds, I think they're thinking, well, I'll fix that, or he blew it in the bridge, but I can shift that one late snare hit. Sometimes it's cool to be able to do that because you just saved a take that was otherwise great. So again, I'm really open-minded about it. I'm not hardcore either way about it. I think Pro Tools is a wonderful tool, editing tool. But it can be overused in a lot, and I try not to do that.